Hello and welcome to my world of crochet. My name is Dina and today I'm here with you for another yarn haul video. In fact, I'm here with you for a hobby yarn haul video. And as always, we cannot talk yarn without me having my faithful mug of tea, which today here is an Earl Grey tea, though it's bought in Denmark. It's a black Earl Grey with a green jasmine tea flavored in with some jasmine and lemon on top. So it's a quite special Earl Grey and I do quite enjoy it. So it's a little bit more than your typical Earl Grey, to say. The shame is just that I'm not having that much tea of this left and I actually don't know where to get it because I got it as a gift. It's just a text on the tea that says it's from Denmark. So it's probably a Danish blend with obviously imported tea because it's Chinese black tea and Chinese green jasmine tea. But yeah, but it's really enjoyable. So I'm trying to kind of make it last, even though eventually it will be end. As you can see here, I am wearing a crochet piece. It is my happiness poncho. The happiness poncho, I did not design this myself, though I did make a tutorial for it, and it's also a free pattern. You can find the tutorial at the very end of this video, should you be interested in it. So yeah, I will have it like linked up here as a linked video at the very end. Then, of course, I told you I got a hobby order, but it's not just any hobby order. It's probably one of my biggest yet. At least it's the biggest bag I've ever got from them yet. I once got from them in a cardboard box. I've got from them in big bags, but this is the biggest yet. This hobby order is a hobby order that I got with my birthday gift card. They give you a discount voucher. There was some awesome sales at the same time around my birthday. So I decided I have to order this and I have to get it. Even though that I'm going to try to limit the amount of yarns that I'm buying for a bit, because I need really to sort my stash, which you have already heard a bit about if you're watching my channel regularly, and more videos will come on that. But this yarn haul I really wanted to get because it had some yarns that I could get. First, it was discounted on its own, and then I could get additional 10% discount due to my birthday voucher. So the yarn haul has been laying a little bit, and I just needed time to record this and post it and everything like that, but I'm sure you understand. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to try to open this bag, though I really don't want to open it down here because the hang is up here, so I kind of want to see if I can open it in one of the ends. And this yarn haul, it really contains a lot of interesting yarns, in the sense of I also got some yarns from Point, and then there were just some really good offers in general. So yeah, let's see how we can best get into this bag. And of course I don't want to hurt any of the yarns, not intentionally. So what we are gonna do is, I think I am gonna do just following this all the way to the bottom, and then we will take and open these yarns one by one. And I'm gonna take you guys with me through this bag of absolutely squishy yarn, and it looks very squishy just from opening this. There are some cape yarns and there are some other yarns. Let's start with this because it is on top of it all. This is the Kremke morning salutation, and it's all in a bag actually. And this is because I got 10 of them, and these are yarns that you can only get through the Hobbii points. And because I am, as I just mentioned before, going to do less yarn hauls, and I had some points that would expire in April, and I'm not sure if I would make an order before April with Hobbii. I decided to use some of these points and make sure I used enough that it would at least be all the points that wouldn't expire within the next year. I'm probably going to order within the next year or so. this is kind of to make sure that my points wouldn't expire, because that is definitely a waste to have your points expiring. Here we have it. It's an absolutely gorgeous yarn. It's the first time I have this yarn in my hand. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. So Kremke Soul Wool, Morning Salutation, vegan. The funny thing is this banderole doesn't go all the way through, so I'm going actually to see if I can get this one out without hurting the whole yarn ball. And then I would guess I would have to try to insert it in afterwards, but it's to give you some more information on it. It's an absolutely gorgeous ball. It feels really, really nice, so that's good. It's German. It's a German wool, and I said you can only get it for Hobbii points. So, and they have different colors. I was thinking I'm probably going to make some sort of a sweater or a top from it. I should have more than enough, because as I said, I got 10 skates for points for these. So that's about 30,000 Hobbii points or something like that. A bit more, 31, 33,000, something like that. So let's talk a bit about this yarn. This is a truly vegan yarn that combines fine cotton with lyocell, which is made from wood waste in a closed circuit. So in other words, this is a fully organic yarn. The lyocell makes the yarn more absorbent than silk and has a good cooling property. So I would say it's probably really good for like a summer top, or sweater or something like that, or maybe shawl or poncho. I'm not sure what I'm gonna make from it yet. It's just a color I really like, and it does obviously match a little bit my eyes and my skin tone. Each of these are 50 grams. 50 grams is a 1.75 ounces for those that's using ounces to measure yarn with. They are 110 meters of length, so that's about 121 yards, I think. Wash at 30 degrees, so 85 Fahrenheit. Do not iron, do not tumble dry, do not bleach. You can dry clean. It's a colorway 14, and I do believe it was named Olive. Let me just check my order if it should be listed with the colorway here. That will be kind of nice if it is. Yeah, it says Olive, so I remembered right. That's awesome. Let's see, does it say anything else in here? No, it just says it's 51% lyocell or tencel, and it's 49% cotton. And yeah, it's a German designed yarn. So that's pretty much it. Nothing else super fancy to say about this yarn. I am going to insert this label again, if possible. Looks like it, and I'm gonna put it back to my bag, which I did partially open just to be able to take this one out to show it to you. And that's because obviously I think that Hobbii gets them in these 10 bags, and it would make most sense then to send me one in a 10 bag when I ordered them. So I don't blame them for that. And for me, actually, it's nice because then they will keep nice and clean. So I am going to probably tape this bag up so it will remain closed until I am going to use it. I'm definitely happy I got this yarn, and it's definitely something that I will get probably more of. It felt absolutely wonderful. Then I have a ball here which seems to have its label that popped off, so I will definitely need to relabel that one. It feels nice though, and I did get 2 of them. So let's keep track if we can. It's the Hobbii Butterfly. Though these yarns are a little bit, yeah, they don't look too nice on the skeins because they popped off or got squashed during transportation. But these Hobbii Butterfly yarns are really, really gorgeous. Here you have it on the inside. They have this lighter coloration. It's almost impossible to actually properly watch. Yeah, here we have it. That was better. So they go from this petrol blue to this sort of sage green, I would say. Yeah, it's a sage green that's in here. Awesome. And this yarn feels really soft. Wow. It's the first time I have the butterfly yarns in my hand. And I did get a few colorways of the butterflies. Butterfly is 100% premium acrylic. As I said, I have one more here, so I got 2 of them, but this has the yarn label ripped off, so I am going to put that back on with a piece of tape or something like that. I'm a bit sad, of course, that it's not sitting nicely on the skein, but there isn't a yarn buff, and I'm sure it's a full skein. It feels really, really nice and soft. I'm very surprised how soft this acrylic actually feels. But of course, I should expect it somewhat soft from a premium acrylic, so that's absolutely fair. Let's talk about this yarn. It's a Hobbii designed yarn, and so it's designed in Denmark. It's produced in Turkey. The Butterfly is a lightweight 3 yarn. It's 200 gram skeins, so these cakes are, well, these skeins, they're 200 grams each, and that's 7 ounces. And for those, you can do a bit of damage because you get 500 meters of yarn, so that's 547 yards. They recommend a 4 to 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, which I would probably actually agree with. So just to have a little bit of an idea, this is how it looks against my finger. Yeah, I think it's a good 3 weight. I do, definitely. So you can wash this yarn at 40 degrees Celsius, so that's about 104 Fahrenheit. You can iron it low. You can actually even tumble dry this winter, because I don't have much room to hang up washed clothes. So for me, actually, that can go into the tumble dryer is always a winner if it's something I need to make for myself. But they also recommend lay flat to dry. So do not hang your items, but do let them flat to dry should you need to dry them. Can be dry cleaned, but do not bleach. And yeah, you can obviously get this yarn at Hobbii. And it's the colorway 14. And let me see if I actually have a name for colorway 14. It's the one they call, let's see if I can pronounce this, Iridescent Forester. Iridescent Forester. I think it's absolutely gorgeous colorway, by the way. So I just need to get this one's label back on. It's right here, as you can see, it's unfortunately broken off. So what I am gonna do is I'm probably gonna give it a piece of tape so it stays nice and closed. I do have more yarns, but I also have more of these butterfly yarns. So I'm trying to see if I can actually get it out so that it's, so I can take them, so I don't need to read and go through yarn specs all the time with you guys. The next butterfly I got, I can see that this label is kind of popping off, but here we have it. It's all closed in this end, but let's look at this end. Look here. Isn't this gorgeous? You have a yellow in here. Blue to green to yellow. This is Janetta Forester. Janetta Forester. I think it's gorgeous. So we have this yellow in here. So from blue to yellow. And don't ask me what I'm going to make from these yarns because I actually don't know yet. I have an idea that I might make a cowl from one of them. But except that, I don't have massive plans. I just saw that the butterfly was on sale, plus I could get an additional 10% off. So they were already 50% off, I think 51% off. And then out of that, so the price after being 51% off, I also got 10% off. So that's like 55-ish% off. Definitely happy I did that. And I've been wanting to get this forever. So that's awesome. Good for me. Good for me. Then I have the last one, which is the butterfly papillon. Papillon. So that's a butterfly, because papillon is a butterfly in French. I don't speak a lot of French, but that is some of the French I do know. And this is like a light beige that's on the inside. You can actually see the ends here. That's the color that will be in the very center. And here, actually, you can see it's a lot of plied yarns together, because here it's clear it's a plied yarn, but here it's kind of split up. And you can see this is actually 3 plied threads plied together. So we just learned a bit about this yarn. But this is gorgeous on its own, right? Like purple into this more like magenta, purple reddish. to a real like pink to these peachy until it gets kind of like a nude color at the very, very center. This is gorgeous. I also got 2 of these, of the Papillon, of the Janetta Forest. I only got this one. I only got this single cake. I wasn't completely sure, like it really spoke to me, and at the same time, this just spoke a bit more. And the budget was saying, you want to see it? You want to see if it's as pretty and real? But you have a budget, so like don't spend all your yarn budget in one go. So I didn't, and I decided just to get the one, because I'm still sure I can make a nice cowl just with one of them. At least that is my feeling. We will have to see if that's actually matching with what I think and feel. Then I got a Hobbii Twister Solid in this gorgeous purple. I love it's a very, very, like, it's a very clear purple. And actually this camera doesn't do this color justice. Maybe a little bit when I turn it like this and I get a little bit of the outside lightning on it. But it's a very nice purple. And it's darker purple than the one you saw just with the Hobbii Butterflies here. You can easily see this is a darker purple. But it's quite gorgeous. Let's see, does this purple have a name? I'm just gonna move my teacup so I can easier swirl a bit back and forth. It's called Violet. Violet is probably quite suitable. Violet is the colorway 131. I don't think I mentioned the colorways actually on the Papillons. I did say the color names. This is number 12. And where we have it, and this is number 2. But yeah, so let's get back to this twister. 131 is the colorway, Violet. The Twister Solid is the same as the Hobbii Twisters, except this is 100% solid cake, so it only has this one color. It's a 2-weight fine yarn. It's made in Turkey for Hobbii. It's designed by Hobbii. It's 55% cotton, 45% acrylic. It's a 100-gram cake. For an 100-gram cake is 3.5 ounces, which gives you 400 meters of yarn, so 437 yards. They recommend 3.5 to 4 millimeter crochet hooks. You can wash at 40 degrees, so that's 104 Fahrenheit. Iron at low. Do not tumble dry. Do not bleach. Lay flat to dry, and you can dry clean it. And this, it does have a shine to it a little bit, this purple. And I really like this purple. It's a gorgeous purple. I'm actually quite happy I got it now. And in a moment, you will see why I got it. Even though I don't have made any official plans for it, it will make sense when I show you. Because I also got some Hobbii Twisters. I had a Hobbii Plus deal where I could get the Hobbii Twisters really like spot cheap. They were like more than 60% off, and then on that price I could still get my 10% extra off. Like, what's not to want? Especially for me, I love cakes. It was only a select few that you could choose between. I think it was like 4 twisters that you could choose. Other twisters would not have this deal, and that's okay. So I decided I'm going to get them because I absolutely love cake yarn. And I like to make shawls, and I like to make everything that's kind of related to this cake yarn and fine weight yarns. So it was like kind of a no-brainer feeling to get this. This is exactly the Hobbii Twister. And this is having the same yarn specs in the sense of it is 55% cotton and 45% acrylic. And this is how it's looking. Isn't this gorgeous? I think this is so freaking gorgeous. I cannot express myself. It's a very dark teal that goes into a lighter teal that goes into this more like light lavender purple. And then we have this violet. It's the same color as this one. They are the same. So I could extend this project with this if I wanted to. So that's why I got the small twister. And the twisters, the small twisters were also on sale. The big twisters weren't, but the small were. But I did have the offer on these 4 specified twisters, where this was one of them. for an insanely good price. So obviously I got it. 250 grams are in these cakes. 250 grams is 8.8 ounces to 1,000 meters of yarn, which is 1,093 yards. Also a two-way yarn, because obviously we told about with the solid twisters, they are the same yarns. So therefore the yarn specs from here are the same. They say if you want to knit with it, 3 to 4 millimeter hooks, sorry, not hooks, needles, crochet hooks, 3.5 to 4 millimeter crochet hooks, which is the same as a US size E to G. Iron at low, can be washed at 40 degrees, so 104 Fahrenheit. Lay flat to dry, can be dry cleaned. Do not bleach, do not tumble dry. That's pretty much it. Designed in Denmark, produced in Turkey. I think it's gorgeous. It's so freaking gorgeous. This is really like, this is one of the prettiest ones. Not saying that the rest aren't pretty, but that one is just extra pretty somehow. Then we have another twister, because we talked about me getting all these twisters for a good price. And actually, I forgot to tell you, this is the colorway 50, and it's the one they name a weightless. Weightless. Maybe it's like weightless as in we are out in the universe, floating around. You feel weightless in the universe because of the lack of gravity. Maybe. I can see that for me. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I have one more of these absolutely awesome prized twisters, which is this one. Orange to peaches to, I'm not really sure what I would call this, but sorry about that. Orange to peaches to, yeah, it goes into red eventually. Absolutely gorgeous. This is colorway 5. And a colorway 5 is the one they call Golden Glow. I can see it has some golds in here. And I do like red. Red is definitely one of my favorite colors. This is a nice dark red. Almost like red wine red. That's gorgeous as well, right? Can definitely make some awesome shawls. It has the same yarn specs as the other one, so therefore I'm not going to go through yarn specs once more, because I feel that is a little bit defeating the purpose. Then this is also one of my awesome cheap twister hauls, and when I say cheap twister hauls, I really paid probably, it was probably like 65% off, maybe 70% off almost. It was a really good deal, steal deal. Here we have another twister of these great deals. Purple on the outside, or well, more like a magenta purple, because this is not the same purple as this one. As you can see, this is more like, this is a bit more like, there's a bit more pink tone in this one. It's not like purple. It is purple, but not purple in the same sense of the violet here. It has more like, yeah, what did I call it before? Magenta, maybe, I don't know. To a lighter purple pink, and then we go into this light turquoise blue, which goes into lavender again, and then we have this sort of, I'm not really sure, it's not white, it's more like a creamy lavender here in the center. This is the colorway 9, and that is the one they name Berry Sorbet. Berry Sorbet. And to be honest, when I'm looking at the photo on the website and I'm sitting here with the yarn in real life, the yarn in real life is so much nicer looking. The photo on the website does not do this yarn justice. Nothing more to say. Then I need to start really dig deep, because we are closing up to the end, because this bag really mainly contained a bunch of cakes. The next I have here is also, and that is the last I got of these insanely good priced Hobbii Twister yarns. I could have probably gotten more, but at the same time, I do think I have some of these on stock already. So it seemed a bit defeating the purpose to stock up more of them. But I really need to start getting used to some of them. And this is also gorgeous. This is probably also one of the gorgeous one of the batch. You have a navy blue outside, and that goes into a lighter blue, to an even lighter blue, which then goes into this lavender purple, and into more like solid purple. And this solid purple in the center is also the same violet. You can, it's a bit difficult to see because that is in the very center, but that is basically the same. So you could even also, if you wanted to, combine these two and then work from here outside when you have ended the finished in the center here. Or you start here as a center pull, and then you start with a center pull here as well, because then we would be working on the outside. You could combine them. You definitely could. And I love both of them. They are both really, really gorgeous. This twister is a colorway 4, and that is a Galaxy Glaze. Galaxy Glaze, and that kind of matches. So we just talked about this could be some space-like thingy because it was named Weightless and Gravity, and this one is named Galaxy. I need to work these two together somehow. It feels like it, right? Somehow. I'm not really sure how, what project, because I have to admit most of these yarns I'm like thinking shawl, cowl, whatever, but I haven't really decided on what actual project I'm gonna make. And that's my biggest challenge. I buy yarn because I have this great idea. Many great ideas. And then I'm not completely sure. I just have an idea of, it's gonna be a shawl, but I'm not saying it has to be that shawl. With a few exceptions, I do have a few yarns that I actually bought with the intention of making a specific shawl. Then I have one twister left. So it has the same yarn specs as these guys, but I did not get this one as a deal for the Plus membership. It was my Plus membership deal. This is Halloween cake. And it's the last Halloween cake they had of their twisters on the website that they still had in stock. So basically it should have been out of stock a while ago, but these one didn't sell out yet. So they are for cheap. They are for discount. They are discounted like 50% off or something like that. And of course I got my extra additional discount, or maybe they're even 60% off. It's something in between, of 55 or something like that. So I already have it in my stock upstairs, but with this discounted price and me getting extra 10% off, I think it's gorgeous, because even if I have an extra, I can always choose to give one away for Halloween maybe. But I think this could be gorgeous with some sort of shawl that could make a Halloween pattern. Black on the outside, we go into a darker gray that goes to a lighter gray that eventually blends into this orange that goes into the more white. And I do believe the center is, yeah, the center here, it's easy to see on this side. The center is a white. And I would say it's a white and not a cream white. It seems quite bright white. Actually, I'm thinking maybe like a skull shawl pattern could work up with this yarn pretty nicely. Also because it is the Halloween. They have the exact same yarn specs as other twisters. This is just a colorway designed specifically for Halloween. I do not have the skull pattern laying around, so I need to obtain that pattern. But I have the idea that the skull pattern could work up really, really nicely with this yarn. Let me know if you think otherwise, or if you have any other ideas. I'm happy to receive suggestions for what shawl to make, but I think I'm gonna make a shawl out of it. Then I have, oh my goodness, I first see that one now. Of course, I have my Hobbii candy. Hobbii almost always, can't say always, almost always give away a piece of candy in their giveaways. Because, I don't know why, but it's the Hobbii candy. It's a little hard. It's tasting of cherry. So it's a hard candy. I am gonna enjoy that one later today. But yeah, it's a candy from Hobbii. So thank you, Hobbii, for my candy. As mentioned, I have 2 left, and they are not twister cakes. I have the Black Friday cotton cake, which is basically like a Cotton King's Sultan. It's not saying on this, but they feel the same. They're caked up the same way. So you're like, if you didn't tell me otherwise, I would, and I didn't have a label, I would say it would be a Sultan, Cotton King's Sultan. I love this. I unboxed one again back in December, and we talked about it, and I said, this green is so freaking gorgeous. And I'm still of the same opinion. This green is so freaking gorgeous. like no discussion, gorgeous. It starts with a dark green in the center, which goes into a more medium green, and then it goes into this quite light green on the outside. Black Friday, so obviously they were launched for Black Friday sales. This is 100% cotton cake, 200 grams at 800 meters, so it's a fine weight yarn, and so in US terms it's 7 ounces to 874 yards. 3.5 to 4 millimeter crochet hook is recommended. It is a 4-stranded yarn, so it is 4 strands that you will hold together to create your yarn. Generally, I have good experience with these cakes, and I do definitely probably want to make a shawl of this. You can iron it, you can wash it at 30 degrees, so that's 85 Fahrenheit. You can dry clean it, do not tumble dry, do not bleach. Probably lay flat to dry, kind of depending on, of course. It's a colorway 14. Let's see if I actually have a name for that. It just say Black Friday Cake 14 limited edition. So yeah, who knows how many they will make of these. I already have one, now I have 2, and I am super happy I got it. And again, they are on sale right now because Black Friday sales are far gone, and therefore they do put on out good prices for these, for the obvious reason, obviously, that they want to clear out the stock. They might be back next year. I saw them in there last year, and I didn't get any because, well, many things was going on last year. But they might get them next year, but never a guarantee because, again, it's a limited edition for limited colors. So it kind of depends on what agreements they have with yarn company, etc. But I think it's gorgeous. That's probably it. Then I have only 1 yarn left, and then we are finished. Then this big bag is empty. The last yarn, it feels really nice actually. I'm not really sure what I did expect, but it is the Hobbii Tea Time, which is a recently new yarn at Hobbies. This is gorgeous. And tea time fits with my most favorite drink, tea. Oh, it's nice. This cake is named English Breakfast, and it is the colorway 8. It's a dye lot 1, so it's the very first edition of them, which makes sense because it is some of the first yarns. They feel really nice. It's a roving style yarn, which is also easier to see if I put it up here. I love how these purples and magentas and teals mix up together. They look really, 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 really nice. Let's see. It's made in India, so it's an Indian yarn. It's sold by Hobbii and designed by Hobbii probably. Tea Time is 100% acrylic yarn, so this is 100% acrylic. It's 200 grams, so 7.1 ounces to a 580 meters, which is 634 yards. They classify this as a medium 4. And if you look at yardage wise, what was on the butterflies, and this is a 3 weight, then the reason this is a 4 weight is because it is rowing and it does have a few bits and bobs between where the strands are a bit thicker because of the rowing style. So those points is where it's a 4, but it might be a little bit combined. Let's further talk about it. They recommend a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. Can be washed at 30 degrees. It is really gorgeous, right? Can be washed at 30 degrees, so that's 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Do not bleach, do not tumble dry, lay flat to dry, do not iron, but you can dry clean it. Yeah, that's the Hobbii Tea Time. I do have a cowl in mind for this, cowl or maybe if it's a shawl or something like that. It's my plan. I don't know when that's gonna happen, but I wanted to fill this yarn. This yarn should also be like Jarbo's cookie yarn. Jabo is a Swedish brand, and Cookie is a yarn you can also see on Hobbii. So this is just Hobbie's version of it. But a good friend of me said that she's 99.9% sure these two yarns are the same. I never had Cookie yarns in my hand, but if Cookie yarns feel the same as this yarn does, I definitely need to get some Cookie yarns and work with them sometime out in the future. There's not much more to say about that. But, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, my bag wasn't empty. I had one more Hobbii candy. I got 2 Hobbii candies in one bag. How lucky can I be? You should think they thought it was my birthday, because obviously I used my birthday discount voucher. And the thing is, so if you have an account with Hobbii and you have your birthday entered there, they know when your birthday is. They will send you a 10% discount voucher. But do know you only have a week to use the discount voucher. So they have a week deadline for when this discount voucher needs to be used. So for me, I was a bit lucky with the yarns that was on sale at the time, including even the tea time here was on sale. So all the yarns here was on sale when I used my voucher, and I got an extra 10% off that, with the only exception of being the yarns that I got for my Hobbii points. And I got those for another reason, as I mentioned to you earlier in this yarn talk video. I hope you really enjoyed seeing my Hobbii haul. I have plenty of yarns to work with, and I definitely won't get bored anytime soon. Take care, and I hope to see you in another video. And if you haven't done yet, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell so you get notified, because I have plenty of things going on this channel. I do have giveaways, yarn hauls, tutorials, yarn talks, lives, much more. So yeah, until I see you again, happy crafting and take care. Bye.